What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the After Credit Scene. We are talking forecast and predictions for episode 2 of Loki season 2. We're going to get right into this. This is the first prediction episode that I have done where everything across the board at the bottom is getting 100% positive, this is going to happen possibility. Now, some of this is probably giveaways and throwaways and, okay, you're skirting it and cheating a little bit. But I think we need to talk about it, and I think it's stuff that, given what we know already, you need to pay attention to, and I think it's going to make a big deal moving forward. So 100% across the board. If this stuff doesn't happen, feel free to unsubscribe and go elsewhere for your Marvel content. But having said that, for now, for this video, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. When we drop new content, you'll be the first one to know about it. First off here, we talked about this in our episode 1 recap. The multiverse rules and visuals are going to be a big deal. We've gotten some hints that Miss Minutes is still around. Now, whether or not it's a past version of Miss Minutes or it's something else going on there entirely, I think that character was too big of a deal in season 1 to just be thrown to the side. I think there's going to be some revelations there, particularly things that Miss Minutes knows that He Who Remains can no longer tell them. But I think you need to pay attention to the visuals, the temporal loom, the TemPads, the audio recordings, the visuals of the multiverse, that whenever the times come up on the bottom of the screen, are they in an alternate timeline? All of those different things I think are going to be a big plot point moving forward. They're going to be something that is heavily used to help create this world. And this season is going to get crazy. They've already shown you that they're willing to do a lot of time manipulation. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Having said all that, I think this is definitely going to get worse before it gets better. Now, this is the throwaway one. Plot-wise, story-wise, you introduce your protagonists. They have a problem. There's an antagonist or a problem they have to solve. Things get worse, then they get better. But I think the things that Loki and Mobius are trying to solve, I don't think there's going to be any breathers. I don't think there's going to be very many moments in this series, particularly even with episode 2, where anything's like, oh, now we can rest for a second. I think this is going to be a non-stop, episode by episode, just things are continuing to get worse. Where is this going? What is this setting up for, and what is going on, and who are the players, and how does this thing happen? You're watching the explosion happen in real time. It's not just like the explosion happened at the end of season 1 in episode 6. I think that was the firing pin. Now you're watching the explosion happen slowly and everything fade out and people trying to contain it, and it's not going to be contained. This is going to get worse before it gets better. Again here, 100% here, they're messing with your head with this time stuff. They're trying to bounce back and forth, alternate timelines, and this is in the past, and that's in the future, and oh, this got pruned, and who did that? And all of these different things, they're going to try to mess with your head, but I think the payoff is going to be great. I think the whole point, you can't really have this multiverse stuff and make Kang be the person who understands it all and is in complete control without making us, the viewer, and Loki and Mobius and everyone else feel like they're a little bit out of control. So it has to not make sense to us for a while so that it puts Kang or whoever they come in contact with in a better light to say, oh, I understand all this. And then they get to explain it to you and you go, oh, I get it. Having said that, I think the big plot point of this season is not Loki and Sylvie. I think Sylvie is trying to make a life for herself in Broxton, Oklahoma. That's not really going to pan out too well because Loki's going to come find her. But I think the main point here is Loki and Mobius are going to have to seek out a Kang. Maybe Loki is trying to undo what Sylvie did. That's a possible plot point where Loki says, well, maybe if we find another Kang, someone who understands this stuff, we can put them in place at Castle Immortus, and maybe they can handle putting all this back together. I think they're going to seek out some Kangs, or a Kang, particularly Victor Timely, to try to figure out how to fix this, if it's even fixable at all. I don't think it's fixable. We're going to get to that in a minute. We haven't seen this, but we heard a little bit of it via some audio recordings in episode 1. Ravona's still out there. She's doing something. She's making moves. Something's happening. I don't think she's just hiding in the corner. I think she's out there in the multiverse somewhere. She got affected by this after she already left the TVA. So while all this is going on at the same time, Loki and Sylvie are killing He Who Remains. Ravonna ducks out. And so whether that happened beforehand and she is stuck somewhere else, whether she's got her temp pad with her, something's going on, she's on the move. She's doing something. She has a plan. And given the audio we heard from Kang in episode 1, Ravonna is more than capable of handling things on her own, because Kang thought that she was a good partner to have. So whatever she's got planned is a big deal. We haven't seen the last of her. Something else is going to happen here. Whether it happens in episode 2 or not is anybody's guess, but you have to think that given some of these all visual cues and auditory things we're getting, you got to keep paying attention. She's going to pop up again, but I think there's going to be some clues in episode 2 as to what she's doing, if not an outright, there's Ravonna. I think this is coming with the whole series. Maybe not in episode 2, but definitely for the whole series, which is why I've got a 100% rating here. More timelines, given the fact that we've cracked open the multiverse, equals more Lokis, which equals more fun. We got all the other Lokis at the end of time, the last time, and that was really great, and that was awesome, and that was such a big moment and a great episode and a fan favorite. I think these are going to pop up even more. So where they pop up, who they are, what they're doing is going to be anybody's guess, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Brace yourselves. This is going to be my end slide for the next 5 episodes. This will not end well. Do not expect a happy ending. There was a little bit of a happy ending at the end of season 1, in that Loki found his way back to the TVA, but there was a cliffhanger. I don't think it's going to be a cliffhanger. I think it's going to be, this is how it is now. There's going to be some finality, some wrap up, some conclusion to this story for a lot of reasons. I think they've got an idea of where they want Loki to go, and I don't think it's just to stay in his own series confined to the TVA outside of time on Disney+. I think from a writing standpoint, they got to find a way to give him ways to get back to the movies. But I also think that this story and Kang moving forward is a big deal that needs to make a push into other shows, into other movies, and this series, this season is going to be the way to do that. Now, I could be completely wrong. They could continue doing all the multiverse stuff that they're doing in the movies, and Loki season 3, 4, 5 end up becoming the glue that kind of holds, like, here's what's going on in the background, and Loki pops up from time to time, and then you get some backstory. You get to see what's going on. Could be wrong. We'll just have to find out. Here's what I think. Tell me what you guys think. Put your comments, your theories, your critiques, everything in the comments below, and check out some of our other content over here. We got a lot of other things you can sink your teeth into. Like and subscribe as always, and when the next one drops, we'll catch you right back here. Later, guys.